I'd say probably 90% of the people I work with say, Taryn, you know, that mindset stuff is great, but I'm not interested in doing that. What I really want to do is that structural sales piece, that really logical left brain stuff. You make it so obvious, and it's like, okay, yeah, yeah. And the truth is, everything is mindset. Everything we do or the outcome of everything we do is related to how we perceive things and how we think about ourselves. And you know, I've said this a gazillion times. You know, our outward experience of life is a reflection of our inward sense of self and our own internal dialogues, if you like, because you know most people share a common madness of constantly thinking and talking aloud in their head, and it's that ongoing narrative that starts to frame our perception. You know, what we label, we create as a structural set of bars for some people, or you know, architects have others, but most people it tends to be limiting beliefs rather than enabling. So yeah, after working with me for a few weeks, they realized that we've been talking about mindset a lot in it because it does massively influence it. And what tends to happen is I ask lots of questions. I mean, all through my sales career, it's always question based. And when you start asking people, well, that's an interesting statement, why? And then we start pulling, and it's like that little thread on your jumper, and it like, and suddenly they realize they're naked because I what they've been hiding behind. It's like, that's a weird thought, and it's actually going to be impacting how you interact. People don't do cold calls anymore. Oh, really? Why do you say that? Well, you know, the people I phoned, they didn't want to talk to me. Oh, okay. And it's like, you just keep going, and then you realize, or they tend to come to the realization that they have some pretty strong ideas that have stopped them trying different things. Or at least what people don't understand is you start to look to confirm your ideas. So you almost look for the reasons it's going to fail, and therefore when you do it, it does. We're kind of cool like that as species, you know. We create an internal reality, then manifest it around us. But most people do it unconsciously, and all I'm trying to do is bring conscious awareness to that process. It's really quite simple, actually. It's the combination of having an inner feeling, what I call energetic state, that warmness inside, how we feel about ourselves, and how we see possibility, or as I describe it, super potentiality, the total number of outcomes that are possible. And it's kind of linked to how you feel. If you're kind of down in the doldrums, you're not going to see as clearly as if you're standing on top of a mountain. So from starting from a lofty position, a high state, hugely important. And then it's having an intention. Yeah? That intention is your GPS coordinates for success. It's a pretty crap description, I know, but it's like, and I use this all the time. Imagine you get in the car with your suitcases and your friends, and you go driving to go on holiday, and you realize you haven't got a destination. Ultimately, you're going to revisit where you started. You're going to end up home again. So we need to set ourselves a destination, a place where good looks like, a destination for success, that intention. And the more richly we craft that image in our mind's eye, we color that canvas with all the colors and depth and texture, it creates something for our subconscious mind to aim towards. Because without it, we just revisit the past. That's how we work. We look for patterns and we zero in on them. So we need to set enabling intentions. So we have this higher state of being that gives us a sense that anything's possible, or greater things are possible, combined with a destination. What does that destination look like? And then we have to pay for it with our belief. You know, I always call it spiritual currency, because if we don't believe in what we're doing, we're setting ourselves up to fail. So belief isn't like blind faith where you just blindly believe it. We create belief by being congruent with the outcome, by being congruent best practice, by understanding all the different variables in play and aligning them so that we're going to hit our destination. Because when it comes down to it, the road is going to get rocky. It's never the road doesn't get rocky. It's just how much belief we have in ourselves to overcome the adversity. So a great book that I read, and I think you've read it too, is Start With Why. Start With Why by Simon Sinek. Because once you have a solid understanding of your why, you can then endure most things. But if you do it for superficial reasons, I don't know, you want praise, adulation, money, etc., those things aren't so shiny when it gets really rocky. And you go, yeah, you know, well, I don't really care about it that much. You know, a pat on the back was nice, but I don't. But if you're really clear on what you want to accomplish and why that important to you, you rely on that, you draw on that, and then combined with your alignment of best practice, you know, it's like the guy that wants to run the marathon, but he's sitting on his sofa drinking Coke and eating chips. I ain't gonna do it. But if he aligns himself with the right diet and the right training exercise, surrounds himself by the same-minded people, we start to reacclimate our sense of possibility, and we have more belief in ourselves. You know?